Good to have you along for this Wednesday afternoon TSB TalkSport Business on Talk 100.3. Joining us next on the show, Neil, is Siddhanth Aney, a journalist with NewsClick and 420 Grams, and he joins us on the ground where he currently is in Doha. Thank you very much for joining us on Talk 100.3.
Hi, thanks for having me. Good to be on the show.
Super amazing, Siddhanth. How's the atmosphere? We got to know that you're watching the Germany versus Japan game live.
Yeah, it's halftime right now. It's pretty good. There's a loud Japanese contingent singing songs all through the first 45, even though they are behind by a goal. It's been fun. It's been a fun tournament so far. I think things are warming up a bit. Very different from the past couple of World Cups, but it's been quite interesting.
Well, when you say it's quite different from the past couple of World Cups, where is your conversation heading to? As in what direction are we saying it's different?
Well, first of all, I mean, like we all know, it's the first World Cup that's being held in the region, that itself makes a massive difference in terms of the demographic of people that travel to the event, the kind of fan base that we have, and Qatar with being a sort of a migrant-heavy country with a reasonably well-off population. So a lot of tickets, I think, have been bought up by locals. So the quantity of fans or the number of fans who've come in from outside is probably a lot less than at previous World Cups. But it's created a very different kind of atmosphere in the stadium and also in the city.
Yeah, there's been much report of what has been happening with the behaviour and certain restrictions of fans. How have you seen the behaviour of fans and how they're going on with logistically with things like the metro system and getting to and from fan zones to games?
I don't think the city has obviously ever seen this kind of volume of people, sheer numbers. So they're doing their best to cope. But so yesterday I was traveling actually with the fans instead of they have separate arrangements for the media to travel to and from ground. But yesterday I missed that bus, so I took the metro from the city center to Al Wakra, which is I think 30 or 40 kilometers out. It's quite on the outskirts, one of the farthest away stadiums. And I have to say, compared to again previous World Cups, despite the volume, it's been pretty decent. Pretty well organized. It was smooth. I don't think anyone got particularly delayed, getting into the game for the 10 p.m. kickoff. Other restrictions-wise, perhaps the lack of large groups of drunk young men at the venues has actually helped in some ways allow more women and children and families to attend and made it more that kind of a vibe. So. Maybe a new sort of generation of fans being indoctrinated into the juggernaut that is global football.
This is a good sign from what you say, that the way it's been taken care of. We were definitely hoping that Qatar being the first host from the region starts off what could be many more to follow for us. Now Siddharth, while this is happening here in Qatar, there's something else happening in England between Manchester United and Ronaldo. We got the news today that both of them have parted ways from immediate effect. What are your thoughts on this development, Siddhanth?
It seemed like it was coming over the past few weeks, and for the club, I guess a good decision to take in terms of their immediate footballing prospects. I don't know how much more to say on it than that, except that I guess now it's up to Ronaldo to figure out whether he wants a last big paycheck or whether he wants to play a little more serious football for a couple of years before he calls it quits on what's been a pretty good career as it is. I think he's still got some options on the table. And it's always fun to see United struggle a bit.
What is actually your club, Siddhanth?
I spent a lot of time and money following Arsenal, but I don't have a club anymore.
What would you think if CR7 turned up at Arsenal, the Gunners?
It would be very much in line with the way things have been going the last few years since Arsene Wenger left and all of that. So it would reinforce my decision or sort of validate my decision to stop supporting that club as well. Yeah.
No, I know.
Sorry if I'm being too much of a cynical or
No,
You fit. Listen, you fit in.
here, but-
You fit in completely with us here on TSB.
No, because we don't mince our words when we talk about our favorite clubs or the way other clubs have been performing or the players have been performing. Ronaldo, obviously, this was coming from a very, very long time. Now, if we take Ronaldo out from that equation and put him back in Portugal, where he's going to start his journey tomorrow at the World Cup, will the decision that has been taken at United impact his or the country's performance at the World Cup?
I really don't think so. I mean, except to put his mind, maybe put him in a better frame of mind to approach the problem at hand, which is the World Cup. And I think he is also pretty clear that if Portugal do go on to win the World Cup, then that would be that. So it'll end a lot of speculation on that count as well at the end of the month, if that's how it goes. But beyond Ronaldo, I think Portugal have a lot more going on the pitch. And he perhaps is, I'm not sure, of course he is a critical player, no doubt, but I'm not sure if he's as critical in the overall scheme of things where Portugal are concerned. So I'm not sure it's too much of a factor. But it's good that it was interesting that they got it out of the way before, things even started off. So it seems like a pretty sorted way to kind of approach the situation.
Now, just going through, while we've still got time, today's matches, half-time between Germany and Japan. It's Germany 1, Japan 0, getting the kick from the spot. I think they had a goal disallowed as well. Can you see Japan getting back into this game somehow?
I can. There have been a couple of decent chances actually. I can see them getting a goal for sure. I mean, they've been defending for the most part for sure. I mean, they've been defending for the most part, defending pretty solidly. In fact, apart from that penalty, which was a bit of a boss-up, I think, on the part of the goalkeeper. But they've been defending well and looking good when they have gotten chances to sort of play on the counter. They've always been pacey and technically very strong and also super intelligent players. So I wouldn't put it past them to get a goal and make things interesting in the second half. I think the first 10-15 minutes after kickoff might be quite critical. Although Germany look in pretty good rhythm as well, it has to be said. Serge Gnabry particularly, who's playing on the right, he looks like he's itching to get in on some of the action and I think we might see him on the score sheet, maybe deciding the game at the end of this one.
Well, excellent. Well, we do appreciate your time, given you midway through that match between Germany and also Japan. So, Siddhanth Aney, journalist from NewsClick and 420 Grams, thank you very much for joining us from Doha here on TSB.
Yeah, and if there are any fans of Indian football who listen to your show, do check out our podcast. We also have a YouTube channel, like you mentioned, 420 Grams. Shout out to myself. Sorry about that.
No, we will.
That's a very good shameless plug. I like it.
yeah. Well, no shame in this game. We're watching a World Cup. I'm watching a World Cup in Qatar. Shame is out of the window, my friend.
Yeah. Siddhanth, we should get you back in a couple of days, and we'll introduce a new segment called Free Plug Friday, and you can plug the 420 podcast all you want.
All right.
Thanks,
that sounds
guys.
amazing.
Thank you so much.
Good chatting to you guys.
No worries. Great.